If you don't trust me hanging out with my ex-husband every weekend, then maybe we're the problem. That's what she said, cold, sharp, as if the words were a blade she didn't care where they landed. I remember standing there, the sound of the dishwasher humming behind us, her voice echoing in the narrow kitchen like something final. I laughed at first. A hollow, nervous sound. You can't be serious. She crossed her arms, meeting my gaze without flinching. Why do you always assume the worst? He's the father of my son. We're co-parenting, not sneaking around. Every weekend, though? I asked. Late nights, private dinners, movie nights at his place? That's not co-parenting, Emily. That's what you think it is, she cut in. You're projecting your own insecurities onto me. The word insecurities burned like acid. I wanted to shout that trust isn't insecurity, that boundaries exist for a reason. But the way she looked at me, eyes narrowed, lips tight, I knew I'd only push her further away. So I said nothing. She grabbed her coat from the chair, sliding her arms through the sleeves with a deliberate calm. I'm meeting him tonight to talk about Jacob's school situation. Don't wait up. The door closed behind her. That was the moment something inside me cracked. Not loudly, not all at once, but like a fracture in glass spreading slowly across the surface. We'd been married for 8 years. I'd known about her ex, Paul, since the beginning. He was charming in that smug, effortless way that made everyone like him. When I met him at one of Jacob's birthdays, he shook my hand too firmly and said, "You're the new guy, huh? Big shoes to fill." I laughed then, but now I hear it differently. At first, their friendship didn't bother me. I told myself it was mature, admirable, even, that they could stay friends for their son's sake. But as time went on, I noticed the pattern. The texts she'd hide when I walked into the room. The way she'd get dressed up to talk about parenting stuff. The sudden laughter from the kitchen when his name appeared on her phone. And every time I tried to talk about it, she called me controlling. By the third weekend, I couldn't take it anymore. She said she'd be home by 9. At 11:30, I called her. No answer. At midnight, another call, still nothing. I sat on the couch, phone in hand, heart pounding with every minute that passed. The clock ticked louder than usual, the house colder than it had ever felt. At 12:47 a.m., headlights cut across the window. I stood as she came in, hair a little messy, her lipstick smudged. "You're still up?" she asked, pretending surprise. "Yeah," I said quietly. "You said you'd be home hours ago." "We lost track of time," she said, tossing her keys into the bowl. "Doing what?" She hesitated, then shrugged. "Talking. Watching a movie with Jacob." "Jacob's at your mom's," I said. The silence that followed was unbearable. Her jaw tightened. "You're unbelievable," she said. "You spy on me now." "Emily," I said, my voice breaking despite myself. "Just tell me the truth." She didn't. She turned and went upstairs instead, leaving me standing there in the ruins of what we used to be. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling until the shadows began to move, until I wasn't sure if I was awake or trapped inside a nightmare. The next day, I drove Jacob to soccer practice. Paul was there too. He gave me that same confident grin. "Hey, man. Heard you've been worried about Emily hanging out with me." I froze. "She told you that?" He laughed. "She said you're jealous. But hey, I get it. If I were in your shoes, I'd probably feel the same." There was something in his tone, an edge, a smugness that made my stomach twist. When Emily came home that evening, I couldn't stop myself. "Why would you tell him I'm jealous?" "Because you are," she snapped. "I'm tired of defending every friendship I have. He's part of my life whether you like it or not." "Part of your life?" I repeated. "Or part of our marriage?" She didn't answer. Just walked away again. That was when I started to notice smaller things. A faint scent of aftershave that wasn't mine on her jacket. A second toothbrush in her car's glove compartment. A charge on our joint account for a hotel 30 minutes away. "A mistake," she said, when I asked. The lies built quietly, like dust gathering on forgotten shelves. One Sunday morning, she said she was taking Jacob to Paul's for the weekend. I nodded, pretending to believe her. But an hour after she left, my gut told me to drive. I followed at a distance. Her car turned off the main road, not toward Paul's house, but to a small cottage near the lake, one they'd used years ago for family trips. I parked far enough not to be seen and watched. She stepped out of the car. Paul came out to meet her. They hugged. Not politely. Not like exes who've moved on. It was long, intimate, familiar. Then he kissed her. And she didn't pull away. I sat there, frozen, the world tilting around me. My hands trembled so hard I almost dropped the phone. I could have taken a picture, recorded it, something. But I didn't. I couldn't. I just watched as the person I'd built my life with disappeared into a cabin with another man. Hours passed before she came home. When she walked through the door, I was sitting at the table, staring at nothing. "How was your weekend?" I asked. She hesitated. "Fine. Jacob had fun." "Did he?" Her eyes flicked up. "What do you mean?" "I mean, how did he enjoy the lake house?" Her face went white. "What are you talking about?" "Don't," I said softly. "Please. Don't insult me with another lie." Tears filled her eyes. "It's not what you think." "It's exactly what I think," I said. She dropped her gaze, her voice trembling. "It just happened. We were talking, and..." "And what?" I whispered. "You remembered how good it used to be." She nodded, crying now. "I didn't plan it." "I know," I said quietly. "You just let it happen. Over and over." The air between us was heavy, the kind of silence that crushes you. She tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. "Don't," I said again. "You made your choice." That night, she slept in the guest room. I lay awake, staring at the empty space beside me, wondering how long she'd been gone before I noticed. In the morning, she left for work without saying a word. A week later, Paul moved out of his apartment. Emily didn't come home that night, or the next. I didn't chase her. I didn't call. I just watched as the life we'd built crumbled quietly, piece by piece, until there was nothing left but silence. People say betrayal feels like anger. They're wrong. It feels like stillness, the kind that fills your lungs and won't let go. And now, when I hear her voice in my head saying, "If you don't trust me hanging out with my ex-husband every weekend, then maybe we're the problem," I realize she was right. We were the problem. But only one of us wanted to fix it.